most powerful man on the planet, according to this our time, President Joe Biden, who at a press conference motioned to shook someone's hand who wasn't there. These are things that are happening, and the King, I have mentioned before that we need to pay attention to the times and the happenings. We also must pay attention to words and figures.
I'm trying to get the relevance of the three persons mentioned, and what is it you're saying, Johnny?
I am saying, the King, that if you are in the knows, you would know that Babylon has fallen. There is a desperate attempt to maintain the illusion that they are still in control. I mentioned those three simply because I am saying that.
Okay, Robert, if you may have us call on the line, Johnny, because I'm not getting that relevance, that connection. I'm having us call on the line.
The King, if you would bear with me, there are times you would give people length of time to explain. If you would bear with me, I would try and explain what I'm explaining.
Yeah, but I'm saying having us call on the line, so the times will let you go on when there are other callers.
All right, the King, if you're not getting my vibration, I'll just have to let it be and just let you take your other caller.
Please, I appreciate that. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning, King Faculty.
Good morning. How about thou?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm splendid.
Oh, praise the Lord. I'm calling on behalf of the Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group.
Yes, you're the person I refer to as would have been my guest in-house, but you can't be here physically. So
yes.
We're going to give you some time to speak to your the reason why you called before we go to a station break. So please continue.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm just calling to inform the general public that the Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group is having an event on Saturday, the 28th of May. This event is a Glow Walk Rally. That's what we dubbed it as, Glow Walk Rally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And this will, actually we will be walking from the Pig Zone. That's our office, located next to the Delta gas station, what we would normally call the 24-hour gas station at camp.
Okay, yeah.
So we will be walking from there through the streets of Bastion, basically. So we'll be taking a route from there down to Kearn Street, across Wigley Avenue, and Sortlands to the Cenotaph, and onto the Bay Road, up College Street, across Liverpool Road, and into the circus where we would end with a rally.
Time?
And we start at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
And we're asking persons, it's a contribution. It's an awareness walk, really. So we're asking persons for a contribution of $30. And this $30, they would be receiving a glow package.
Glow package, yes.
They will be receiving a glow package. We'll have water along the way and refreshment at the end of the walk.
And it's all in aid of?
I beg your pardon?
It's all in aid of?
Breast cancer survivors, persons in need of medical care for breast cancer.
Can you give us an example of someone you would help, how you would have helped that person?
I beg your pardon?
Can you give us an example of how you would have been able to help persons with breast cancer?
Yes. These persons would ask for mammograms,
mm-hmm.
and so we would pay for their mammogram.
You pay for that?
And yes. And sometimes persons may be traveling, and they ask for assistance in terms of their treatment or probably an airfare. So we do that. Yes.
How would someone be able to contact you?
The number they can call is 667-3224. That's our cell phone. Or they can contact me personally at 665-6630. And I'm the secretary for the group.
And your name is?
Denise Christopher.
Denise Christopher.
And persons who listening, they might be familiar with Patricia Farrell. She is our president. Or we have our vice president, that's Ms. Juliet Queely. She's known as Lolly, the hairdresser. Lollipop, the hairdresser. Okay. Yes. And we also have Andrea Joseph, and Andrea works in the Treasury. She is also well known as well. So any one of us can be contacted.
And so the walk would be on Saturday, the 28th of this month, May, from 6 o'clock, starting at...
That's the Pink Zone. That's right next to the Delta 24-hour gas station.
And you end up in the circus?
Yes,
for the
rally.
Okay, and your contact number once again?
Performers there, yeah.
Your contact number once again?
667-3224. Or me personally is 665-6630.
Beautiful, beautiful. We have to pause for a station break right now, but I'm glad you were able to get that information in and out. And where I can help all the folks here at Win FM, I have no doubt they will be happy to assist you in this venture. Thank you for your call.
Thank you very much, King Socrates.
You're welcome. We now pause for a word from our very kind sponsors.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
At 21 minutes past the hour, you're logged on to Voices on Win FM 98.9. Another episode. My name is Socrates. It's May the 16th of, this month, May. I had a blast yesterday. I drank some wine, so you find my voice is not what it is. But I have to sing the song. I have to sing the song after. Let me take the call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Go to caller, you're live on Voices.
Good morning, Socrates. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sister Henry. I'm doing fine. Lovely hearing your voice. Welcome to Voices.
Yeah, man, you're giving God thanks for life, you know.
That's how we start the day.
Yeah, man, when you hear they're going in the supermarket and they're going in the church for you.
Say again?
I said, when you hear they're going into the supermarket, talk about in the USA, and they're going in the church to shoot you up.
Yes, that is so sad. And
it
angers your soul. The hatred these people still perpetrate against people because of the race is nonsense.
And they're going into the church to shoot up the people.
The question is, who teaches them this hate? Who teaches them?
Some of them learn from their peers, you know. Some of them learn at home,
Mm-hmm.
When you got social media, you're able to influence people. And some of them try to reason where you don't see, you know? And especially if you are not achieving. Just like sometimes you hear people say, oh, they're coming in and take away our work.
You blame others for your failings. You blame others.
If you're not achieving anything,
and you lash out at
somebody
people.
else. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, well, I must say congratulations to the Charleston Primary School.
Okay.
Yes, and all the other schools I heard my school came second.
Which
Village
is?
school, Dr. William Connor School.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, yes, I've been proud,
And you would be.
I'm sorry I'm not able to see it. It must have been very, very exciting, you know. Well, Nevis had the mini Olympic. I suppose we had the middle Olympics.
Okay.
And Kim Collins was there to take a look at the children, because his job is to spot talent and to develop it. I think he was given a contract, or he's on the payroll for it.
I don't know. Did you get the first call this morning?
That was announced. It was announced.
Okay. Did you hear the caller this morning who was recommending that he be part of the...
I think so too, because, you know, some of the children...
Don't know him.
Children hear names and they can't put faces to it.
Associates, yeah.
Because I recalled one of my grandchildren came home and she was convinced that Dr. Simmons was dead.
Selective... Oh, that's so sad.
You know, when they don't see you, sometimes you hear Dr. Douglas. Who names so? We take a lot of things for granted, eh?
That is true.
A lot of things for granted. Now, you said that this week. Oh, let me talk about the cancer.
Yes.
Yesterday on another station, this sister was announcing that they're trying to raise funds to send a former student of the Washington Archibald School abroad for treatment. You heard that one?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
I forgot the first name, but it's Johnson, some Johnson. He has to go in June, and they're trying to raise 20,000 US.
Wow.
So they're asking people, whether present students, past students, are just interested people, you know, people with a heart, to help this young person, Johnson. And you could contact the teachers of the school or anybody related to the issue.
Yes.
And make a contribution. They plan to put on some functions and so. Now the lupus.
If I can assist, I'm there. I'm there. Yeah, the lupus. Yeah, the march for the breast cancer folks is on the same day and date and time as the fund. Yes. So I was asked to make a contribution and appearance. All things are possible.
Lupus is not a cancer, there, you know.
All things are possible.
Lupus is an autoimmune disease.
Yes.
Where the body attacks its own immune system.
Devastatingly so.
So it isn't something that somebody go out and get. You can't catch it. You know, but I have seen, you remember Donna Herbert?
Of course.
You from Sandy Point, you remember?
Yes, I do.
She was the girlfriend of, what's his name now, Hendricks. From up at the port.
Yes.
Yes, young lady, maybe in her late 20s or in her early 30s. She went abroad to do a course from our office and came back sick. And it took them some time to diagnose her as having lupus. And then I grieve our heart to see a young person like that. It takes a toll on the body, you know.
Continuously so.
Huh?
Continuously so.
I'm telling you, she ended up in the bed, you know, in and out of the hospital. But sometimes there isn't much they could do. Some of them use steroids that have your face looking big and fat, and you got to get a lot of potassium. And, you know, so whenever I heard, I didn't even know that the sportsman, the fellow Delaney name is?
Yeah, Delvin Delaney.
He died from it, they said.
I didn't know that was the cause.
One of them from Connery. I heard one of these lupus person talking at another station. You know, so you know, we got to pray and help the people. And the young lady was talking something about the work. You know, I recall this our co-worker. She was often unable to do anything. So sometimes she would come to work, but she couldn't function.
I've learned so much of this from Miss Keisha Isaac Adams.
Yes, I'm telling you. You know, I remember one time and all, you know, they were trying to medically board her, and we said, look, just let her think that she could get her pay.
Wow.
Because you really can't function when you're already in pain.
You can't function.
And the joints hurt and so.
Skin, joints, and organs.
And sometimes, as the lady said, they don't even give you enough time. She ended up in the bed. She died in her early 30s.
Skin, joints, and organs.
You know, so whenever I hear about it, my heart goes out to people with lupus, with cancer and all of those stuff. 'Cause you could never tell. You may look healthy and whatever, and one diagnosis could turn you all upside down.
That's true.
So we really need to prepare each other and those people on the jobs, as the young lady said. Especially if you're in the government service, they should give you more time. Because there were some of them pushing to dismiss her. Well, she can't do nothing and we paying her. I mean, what about when you are healthy?
It's a lack of
and
understanding.
working?
It's a lack of understanding. And so that's why this being Lupus
lack of
Awareness
empathy?
Month. Empathy, definitely. But being Lupus Awareness Month, they give person a chance to get to learn and educate themselves as to what lupus is and how it affects people and the need to be understanding in these cases.
Yeah, and the Social Security has got to prepare itself, because if you come into the workforce, you wouldn't have enough, you know? They medically board you. You're not going to get nothing much to live on.
That's true. Okay, we got to go for a station
right,
break
then.
momentarily, so thank you for your contribution, and we shall continue the discussion at other levels. So thank you, as we now pause for a word from our very kind sponsors.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Make it Mother's Day every day at the TDC Home and Building Depot. For the woman who does it all, we're offering up to 35% in savings all month long. Still not sure what to get? Gift your mom a TDC gift card and let her purchase her heart's desires. Celebrate the woman who means so much to you and shop at the TDC Home and Building Depots. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices. You're logged on to WinFM 98.9 for another episode of Voices. My name is Socrates, host of today's program. And if I may, before we get to calls, going to sing the song, Happy Birthday to You. Happy birthday. I'm singing to Jennifer Ogawa up there in New York, celebrating her birthday today. I send greetings to her every day. Today didn't. Now I understand it's a birthday. So Jennifer Ogawa, that's the sister of, tell me, Monarch, yes. Come from, artists and the other word, keyboard, those guys there. So Jennifer, she's celebrating her birthday today. And one of her nieces sent me a text to say, be sure to send out happy birthday greetings to Jennifer. So, I'm a big fan. She's a big fan. Happy birthday. And for all the other folks around the globe celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, even those who are going through a little bereavement, from the studios of WinFM, we empathize, we celebrate with you, and we wish you all a most wonderful day. It's Monday, the 16th day of May. Got it right this time. And you're logged on to Voices. So as I was saying, I drank some wine yesterday, and my voice is not the quality it should be, but we had a wonderful time over there on the Frigate Lawn. Why didn't you come, Shivan? Nobody invited you? So taxi drivers came out, and I've not seen the Lemon Spoon race for so long. And those ladies got involved in the Lemon Spoon and the cricket and the bag race and all that, and the dominoes and the draft, and we had a wonderful time. Lots of food to share and around. So we go back to the phone lines and say good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Greetings and love, man.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the program. How are you doing?
Yeah, you hear about the I come like the man had a splendid time yesterday, man, you know?
Camaraderie, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah, man, give thanks for that, too, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, last week, I had a reasoning, right? We were talking about the progress we have made and all of these things, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you could recall, you know? I would like to ask you a question, right? Because I think you were saying that we have progress or something like that.
I'm trying to recall the context, but go ahead.
Yeah, what I was telling you about Rastafari.
Yes.
You know? See, watch here. Now, you know, anybody can build pyramids like what they got over there in Egypt today?
Can't bring that to mind right now. They're still trying to determine how that was done. To some extent, they're saying rather than acknowledge the contribution of Africans, they're saying it was space aliens who came down and, were able to do those things because they cannot figure out how scientifically it could have been done by Africans. So it had to be aliens.
So I say that to say this, right? Now, if in them long years ago, before BC, in the BC, before Christ,
Before
right?
Christ, yes.
We were able to do such works, and you even got the Lalabella churches up in Ethiopia. You know what I mean? You got the great Zimbabwe all along. You know what I mean? It's like all over the whole continent, right? We're able to achieve these things.
Correct.
Now, if we have progress, won't we be doing greater things?
Yes, but
doing these things. But if we progress, we must still be able to do these things that we could do now, plus greater than these things. You see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, if you can't build a pyramid today with all the modern technology, and advancement, I mean, like, really and truly, could you say that we have made progress?
You have a point, but here's my question.
Material things within this era, within this time in which we live in, right? But compare to our abilities in such times to what we are doing today.
So your point is we would have regressed as a people, as a global family, we would have regressed. Is that what you're saying?
Natural.
Okay.
You understand?
Let me engage you.
Yeah.
In terms of nuclear weaponry, atomic bombs, etc., we have progressed. But those are detrimental and just destructive. Have you ever read a book called African Stall Development? Have you read a book called Africa Stall Development?
No.
It's one of the reasons why we see ourselves as a people who came out of ignorance. We were taught that our history, our accomplishments has been
teach us these things?
Pardon?
Who teach us these things? You say we were taught that.
It was part of the slave mindset. You had to erase a person's identity. That is why you were not allowed to read books, because your books were able to remind you of your great achievement and yourself. So books were banned. If you were caught reading, they would kill you. You were not supposed to know how great you are as a people. So when you say that we have not advanced, there's a stall development that was deliberate. We have to re-educate ourselves and go back to where we were, because they're saying that these pyramids formed in Egypt has nothing to do with Africa. Egypt is Africa. They realigned the maps. They cut up the whole map of Africa until, well, Egypt's over here. They were civilized. They were advanced in technology, education, the sciences, medicine, etc., but not Africa. But Egypt is Africa.
What will our future hold then?
So
if we are regressing and progressing along the path of destruction.
Regress as a people in terms of the knowledge that were denied us, because there are libraries around the world with this knowledge, but it's not easily accessible to the people who need to have it. And so we run around with all kind of fake things on our bodies and say we are civilized and we are sophisticated. It's nonsense. You can't be fake and sophisticated at the same time.
You see, it's a serious thing, right? I will show you. It's a serious thing, because if we're progressing along the roads that leading us to destruction, then we would think in a future.
That is true.
You understand? So all the efforts we make today, in the youths them. I mean, how would it be if we're leading them along a road of destruction, nuclear invention?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like we have forgot a new mindset, which is nothing new under the sun still, right? But we gotta change the direction. And this is why I say about Rastafari. Because even as you talk about lupus, right? And there's no cure, wherever.
No
we know
cure.
that there's a natural cure, there's an alternative remedy to what they give and what they teach us about.
That is true.
There's an alternative. So I'm saying this life they give us and they teach us about, there's an alternative to it. And the alternative to it is Rastafari. You understand? Because if we're going down a path leading us to destruction, you know, we must be wise then to say, well, we have to get off of this path now. You know what I mean? Because you see which path is leading. Check.
So you're saying that Rastafarianism, well, the policies, the custom, the
Rastafarianism, you know, you see?
My apologies.
Rastafari is the name of somebody name saying. You know what I mean?
So the teachings of Haile Selassie, Rastafari.
Yes,
you said that holds the remedy for all the world ills at the moment? If you just follow those?
The whole problem, because watch it, I'm going to show the history proof, right? The whole world was against him, you know.
Okay. We have another call on the line we have to entertain, so if you can call back, we can continue that. I'll be grateful.
Yes, I bless you.
Much appreciated. Okay, caller, good morning. You're live on Voices.
Pleasant morning, King. How you doing?
I am in a wonderful place. Do I know this voice?
Great. You use a term just now. I think it was stall progress or something like that.
Africa's stall development.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily. Not that you're wrong, but I wouldn't necessarily say that in the context that once you look at the world of inventions of throughout the years, we Africans have contributed to, even under slavery, to some of the most
pause for a second. I asked the gentleman, had he read the book? I think it's by Sir Walter Rodney, Africa's Stall Development. That was a question as to that phrase.
Right, I understand.
There's a book that explained that.
But I just want...
And it was because of how Europe, the intervention of Europe, that stalled Africa's development. So that was in that context.
Right. It's just that a lot of the stuff that we have done since we came out of Africa, a lot of things that we have done was stolen. You know, a matter of fact, some of the biggest inventors into technology, into the phone technology, is black folks, and particularly from Africa itself. There's one African brother, I forgot his name now, but he provided one of the major components for cell phone to work today.
I would have read that article about that gentleman, yes.
All right.
Even radar technology was invented by a black lady.
Yes. So though you're right about the stall development, just want people to know as well, although there was, in the context of that, there was huge advancement and invention that we created that was just swept under the rug.
But here's what. We conceptualize that these inventions and development are done by other races. We don't see ourselves in that role. We don't see ourselves. We have to be told. I say, okay. Because automatically, we feel that anything of worth developed, created, patented is done by people of other races. And we don't give ourselves credit because we were brainwashed into believing that we are incapable of doing such.
Right, and look at the movie that was just out a few years back with the black lady in NASA, the mathematician.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I didn't see the movie, but I read about her.
For her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't for her. wasn't for you wouldn't have any satellite in space.
There you go.
You know?
So these are conversations we should have more frequently to help to educate the people across the spectrum. And by the way, where's my contribution?
What's that?
To the story of Sandy Point. We haven't just called on the line, but you promised me a contribution, right? So I'm waiting on it. Okay? But thanks for your contribution.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's coming out this. I'm just a little distracted.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we take this call. Caller, your live on voices. Thanks for holding. And we must have missed a call. We apologize. Hope you can get back in before we come to the midday newscast. So that was Richie Bunton, former National Calypso Monarch. And we go back to the phone lines. Caller, your live on voices. Welcome to the program. Good day, caller.
Hello again, the King.
Good morning again, Johnny. How are you doing?
Yeah, the King, I'm happy. I'm happy that you're engaging in our history. And I'm truly happy that you are aware. And, you've mentioned to me that you've been singing Calypso pertaining to our history and all of that. Now,
nobody listens.
Let us go to... Hello?
Nobody listens.
Yeah. I think the caller asked a question pertaining to the pyramids.
Yes.
And let me give my take on this. Because you see, they try to push that the pyramids weren't built by us Africans, our ancestors. We know better than that. And this is a phrase that I use, a quote I use on social media. We know. You see, we have to know our level. We have gone from building pyramids to building churches. Let me repeat this, the King. We have gone from building pyramids
to building churches.
Which is a mystery to the world and to those who are in rulership today. Because you see, the King, we don't have our own platforms. We don't have our own news broadcasting programs. So who are in control of that? They put spins. They put spins on our story. They have inserted themselves in our story and gave us their history, their narrative, their agenda, and their misery. The caller said that we need to go back to who we were because we were broken. We fall from our greatness. And today we have everything that is turned into economics. Let me repeat this, the King. Everything today is turned into economics. When the first set of Europeans came into our space, the Portuguese in 1618, they saw our people in what is now today Ghana, wearing gold as it was nothing to them. And this is where the greed developed. Now, I know that there are those who are going to say, well, the Arabs was there.
I was going to come with that. They were there before the Portuguese invasion.
The Arabs enslaved us, but they did not give us what we have today in Christianity. The King, just let me say this because I'm going to be brief. To know your story, you have to know his story as well. You have to know the role of the Catholic Church, what they played. Anyone who wants to know the first Europeans that came onto the African continent, just Google that's all I do. Google the first European that came into Ghana. And when they found the gold, they went back to Portugal and tell their people that they found a set of people who did not know the value of gold. And these were the kidnapping and the enslavement, and it was supported by the Catholic Church, the King. Today, even the church is about economics. I always mention, and you don't want me to be repetitive, but I'm not going to go down there. If I may take you to the first dynasty up until 1618, when the first Portuguese Europeans made their way into our space, we were a body of people on our own space. We had everything, our culture, our tradition, our laws that govern us according to harmony with nature. Today, the King, we have lost everything. We are now even eating raw fish that the Chinese are giving us in sushi.
Maybe 60 seconds, please.
So you see, we have to go back to who we were, the king. And it can only be done by unity. Thank you for hearing me.
Much appreciated. On a different level, we have this caller? On a different level, what, and I have to say on a different level because it's not the same, what the Portuguese would have done in Africa, as I said, they went back to their home and said they found a lot of people who didn't know the value of gold. The Americans, the Europeans, who went into what they call America, and they name it New England, etc., they're the same. They saw a race of people, culture of people, who they figured didn't know the value of land, and slaughtered them and took the land, and now they're telling you that they're Americans, and you need to go back where you come from because that land is theirs. Same thing. And we pause now for a station break, and we will be right back.
Enjoy the convenience of getting all your documents in one place. At the TDC Copy and Print Center on 4th Street in Basse-Terre, we do just that. We offer document formatting, graphic design, and copy and print services. Our team of professionals truly understand all your needs, whether it be administrative, professional, academic, or personal. You bring it, we deliver it with quality every time. Visit the TDC Copy and Print Center today in the TDC Mall on 4th Street in Basse-Terre or call 465-2511. Your copy and print specialists are waiting to serve you.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings. With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Spirited conversations today on Voices, and we've had contribution from Sister Henry from Journey and others speaking about the various issues around the world. One other thing I gathered from our teacher, Miss Mills, 94 years now, interviewed last year at her 93rd birthday, is the education system that was introduced to St. Kitts. And we all know it was done or started by the missionaries. They had a role to play. And so when I'm speaking to people in the 80s, 90s, and asking about some historic facts in St. Kitts as related to slavery and colonialism, they don't know. Because the church's role was not to educate the enslaved about what was happening. And so until the government took over, and even when the government took over the education system, that part of our history was not part of the curriculum. We go back to the phone lines. Caller, live on Voices. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good day, Socrates.
Good morning, sir. How about that?
All right. I ain't got much credit, so I'm going to try what I got to say quickly.
Go right ahead.
Yes, greetings in Jesus' name, who is the only Savior of all sinners from heaven and from hell. He's the only Savior of sinners, and he's the second person of the eternal, most blessed Trinity.
Amen to that.
Yes, Jesus Christ is the all and in all for all of us Christians, true Christians. Now, first of all, I would like to say, if you go on YouTube, okay, you could see programs there, videos there to show you how it was possible for the Egyptians to build the pyramids. It ain't true that there's no scientific explanation. There are scientific explanation, and it's right there on YouTube in our face.
Beautiful.
Secondly, true Christianity that is of the Bible is the only way forward for all of us humans. There is no other way forward for us humans other than in Jesus Christ. And when nations do not obey the Bible, in God's own timing, he punishes those nations. He takes away his blessings from them, all that sort of stuff because of the disobedience to his word and for the lack of fear of God.
Can you give me a modern day example?
Eh?
Can you give us a modern day example of what you just described?
Well, modern day example, I mean, to me, the whole world is under the curse of Jesus Christ, and we would have been far better.
Under the what?
If we were obeying the Bible, we would have been far better.
Did you just say that the modern world, the whole world is under the curse of Jesus Christ?
Yeah, the whole world is under the curse of Jesus Christ because what the Bible says the whole world is deceived by Satan. And so that's why we ain't having life far better than how we could have it right now. That's how we ain't having life far better.
So you call it the curse of Jesus Christ?
But some nations are worse than others. For example, you have certain nations like maybe Cuba, certain nations in Asia, Africa,
Cuba's
certain Eastern European
situation
nations
is orchestrated.
have it worse than others.
Cuba's situation is orchestrated. Haiti's situation is orchestrated.
But God is in control of the orchestration. God is who brings about the orchestration. You read it in the Bible that God brings about the orchestration of the demise of nations via other nations, to have other nations to do things against them.
So how are we doing here?
Saying it is orchestrated does not rule out God, because God is the one who is in control of the orchestration. He is in control of our choices.
Okay.
There is a myth that there is free will in the sense that we are independent of God. No, there's no free will in the sense of we being independent of God. God is in control of our choice. He's in control of our opinions. God in control of everything. Read it in Romans chapter 11.
I read about the free will. Give you free will to choose. And by your choices, you have to go up or down.
But our choice is under God's control. We don't have a free will.
You can't
in
have
the sense
free will
that we
and
are
then it's under
independent of
control.
God. Hello?
You can't have a free will until it's controlled. You can't control free will.
No, sir. God is the only one who have a free will because God is in control of all of our choices. We really and truly don't have a free will independent of God. This free will thing is really a Roman Catholic false theoretical teaching that we are independent of God, that we have a free will independent of God. No, the Bible teaches the opposite. We are under the control of God. For example, Isaiah chapter 11, he tell you how he going to bring people against nations, against Israel. He going to orchestrate it. Joseph said to his brothers, when they sold him into slavery, Joseph said to his brother, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good, showing that God was in full control of all the choices that they made, including to sell Joseph as a slave.
I hear you. The end game. The end game. So in the context
God
of
is in control of everything.
In the context of curse and blessing, how are we doing here in the Federation?
From what we could have if we were obeying God, we are far below that standard. We just like the rest of the world are under the curse of Jesus Christ because we are too disobedient to the word of God. That's why we're having all this confusion. We are under the judgment of God because we are too disobedient to God. We do not fear God. We do not fear Jesus Christ. And it starts with the churches. I know it is political mileage to say it starts with the politicians to get votes, but no. All of our problems today begins at the doorstep of the church.
Okay. Next question. What do you think about Finland? I would have lost something. I was going to ask about his thoughts on Finland and Sweden now looking to join NATO. In the context of Russia, as he was saying that he did indicate before that Russia was justified in the actions. Because the Americans were trying to get Ukrainians to join NATO, which would be infringing on Russia's nationality, blah, blah, blah. So now we have Finland and Sweden now wanting to join NATO. How would it impact on that scenario he was explaining? And we go back to the call. Sorry. We got about 4 minutes before we go for the midday newscast. So if there are any callers who want to get in before then, the 662-0989, 762-0989 can get you in the line. So yes, I was pontificating on the whole thing between Finland now trying to join NATO, Sweden showing strong indication, how that would impact that geopolitical space And call your live on voices with about 2 minutes before we wrap up for the newscast. Welcome to the program.
Yes, the King. This is Johnny here again. Quickly.
Yes,
now, you made a statement after my contribution where you say that the American, the Portuguese, the Belgium, the British, all of them also did what those from Spain did on the continent. Let me ask you this, the King. What's the difference between a Frenchman, a British, a German, a Belgian, and an American, and even a Canadian? Aren't they all Europeans?
Europeans.
Because remember, firstly, that when they were killing themselves in their space, they seek refuge right down into Haiti. They were all Europeans, and they left their space and came into what is now America. So there's no difference between a French, American, and English, except for their accent. They are all European. And as pertaining to what Greg just said about under the curse, he's profoundly right. We are under the curse of Christ. Christ in whose narrative? Their narrative, who have inserted themselves into our story and gave us their history. So yes, Greg, we are under that curse. We need to get out of it. There's no salvation in it. They say well, there's nothing for us in the United Nations. We need to get back to who we were before they ever existed. Because we were a body on a continent in our own space with everything that was there, that was provided by our Creator. The duality of the Spirit that has made us flesh gave us our linguistic, our language, our name, and all that they took from us, even our name. And now they gave us this weak English language.
On the wall says you'll have to call back after the midday newscast. Thank
All
you
right,
once again for your
yeah,
contribution. And Spirited Mornings, Spirited Discussion, as we now break for the midday newscast, and we will continue after that interlude.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Did you know that National Bank offers very favorable terms and low interest rate to switch your home mortgage? Our in-house legal department will process your mortgage in a jiffy and free of cost. Switch your home mortgage now and get a peace of mind knowing that we are here for you. National Bank, always here.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs. And our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly. With the WinFM News, I am Devon Cornelius.
And I am Yulana Weeks.
Making the headlines locally.
Prisoner escaped from Her Majesty's prison yet again. Charlestown Primary School wins first ever Ramsey-sponsored primary school relay championship.
Prime Minister Harris extends condolences on the passing of the President of the UAE, His Excellency Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Across the region, 7 Jamaican students saved after getting trapped in raging river, and Grenadians head to the polls on June 23rd. Internationally, 10 dead in racially motivated attack at New York State store. The details and more straight ahead.
WinFM has been reliably informed that Jesus Valdez, a national of the Dominican Republic who resided in Market Street, Bastille, has yet again escaped lawful custody. Previously on April 14, Her Majesty's prison issued a warrant seeking the public's assistance in locating Jesus Valdez, who had escaped custody. At that time, he was on remand at Her Majesty's prison after being charged for the offense of assault. Following a joint operation by officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and Her Majesty's prison, Jesus was captured 16 days later. He was found along the coastline in the CA Paul Southwell Industrial Site area sometime before 9 p.m. on April 30, 2022. WinFM will provide more details on this as information becomes available. The Charlestown Primary School has risen to dominance in track and field yet again by winning the first ever Ramsey-sponsored Primary Schools Relay Championship. The event was held in St. Kitts at the Kim Collins Stadium on Sunday, May 15, 2022. The Relay Championship was judged using the medal count system, and the Charlestown Primary School at the final medal count copped 13 medals, 6 golds, 4 silvers, and 3 bronze. In second place was the Dr. William Connor Primary School, which received 3 gold and 3 bronze medals. Sandy Point Primary School placed third with 2 gold medals, 4 silvers, and 1 bronze. Charlestown Primary School is one of 4 primary schools from Nevis that competed against 16 primary schools on St. Kitts in the Relay Championship. Almost 600 athletes participated in the event. Most recently, on April 27, 2022, the Charlestown Primary School won the Gulf Insurance Interprimary School Track and Field Championship Mini Olympics held at the Mundo Track in Nevis. Over 28 years' existence of the Mini Olympics, the Charlestown Primary School has been most consistent with its winning results. Principal of the Charlestown Primary School, Miss Cheryl Haynes, told WinFM the school is proud of the athletes' performances at the Relay Championship. She said their recent winning at the Mini Olympics boosted their confidence. Haynes acknowledged the dedication of coaches Royston Queely and Cazelle Williams, who ensured that the children were prepared in advance for the relay meet. The athletes returned to Nevis following the meet, and according to Haynes, The team was very excited to travel home with the winning trophy. She said they were so excited that they sang school chants from St. Kitts to Nevis. The principal concluded that the athletes went to St. Kitts knowing their assignment, which was to win. Haynes expressed gratitude to the teachers, parents, and well-wishers, describing them as a powerful support system. She said with strong support and the zeal to win, the athletes persevered until the end.
Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, has expressed a profound sense of sorrow on the passing of the President of the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Sheikh Khalifa passed away on Friday, May 13. He was President of the UAE since 2004. In an official statement, Prime Minister Harris said, as one of the elder statesmen of the Arab and Islamic world, Sheikh Khalifa presided over the rapid advancement of his beloved United Arab Emirates and lived to see his country become an influential player on the global stage. Sheikh Khalifa's determination and drive were only matched by his deep love for the people of the United Arab Emirates, the Prime Minister added. Dr. Harris ended his statement by extending deepest condolences on behalf of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis on the passing of Sheikh Khalifa, noting that the Federation stands by the people of the UAE in their time of grief. Sheikh Khalifa died at the age of 70.
Seven Jamaican students are back with their families after narrowly escaping the deadly waters of the Barnett River in St. James, thanks to the heroic efforts of the country's protective services. The young people were part of a group involved in an activity on the banks of the river when a sudden change in weather brought heavy rains and strong currents their way. Quick thinking led the students to swim to the nearest landmass, an islet in the course of the river. It soon dawned on them, however, that the now raging waters of the Barnett meant that they were trapped there, unable to swim back to the shores of the mainland. The Jamaica Defense Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and the Fire Brigade all responded to the scene, attempting various rescue methods until a helicopter was eventually brought in to assist. The helicopter made several trips back and forth until all 7 students were with their families, who by then had gathered on the riverbank awaiting the safe delivery of their loved ones. No injuries were reported. A Jamaican teacher in the parish of St. Anne is now facing criminal charges after being accused of serious sexual offenses. The 24-year-old business education teacher appeared before a parish court to answer charges of buggery, indecent assault, and grievous sexual assault relating to his interactions with one of his 15-year-old male students. The man was arrested on the school compound last Thursday after the student filed complaints about his teacher's behavior.
Grenadians will go to the polls on Thursday, June 23, 2022. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell made the announcement at a political meeting in Telescope, St. Andrew, on Saturday night. Explaining the timetable for the run-up to the poll, Dr. Mitchell said he has already asked the Governor-General to dissolve Parliament, effective Monday, May 16. Further, he has asked the Governor-General to issue the writ for elections on May 17. This essentially means that Grenadians who are not yet registered have only one remaining day to do so and be able to cast their ballot in the upcoming general elections. Nomination day for candidates will be Wednesday, June 1st. As is customary, police officers will participate in advance polling on Monday, June 20th, while the rest of the electorate will vote on June 23rd.
Welcome to BBC World News. President Biden has said the US must do everything in its power to end hate-fueled domestic terrorism after a suspected white supremacist shot dead 10 people and wounded 3 at a supermarket in New York State. 11 of the 13 victims were black. The FBI is investigating the killings in Buffalo as a racially motivated hate crime. The 18-year-old gunman who live-streamed the attack has been arrested and has appeared in court. Neda Tawfiq reports from New York.
A busy grocery store in a predominantly black community. This was the shooter's intended target. The horror started immediately in the parking lot. As the gunman emerged from his car, heavily armed and wearing tactical gear, he shot 4 people, killing 3 of them. To eyewitnesses, it was clear he came to do maximum damage.
When I first saw him shooting, he shot a woman, he shot a deacon, he shot another woman, and then he went in the store and started shooting again.
A retired Buffalo police officer was working security and shot the gunman, but he was unharmed because of his armor. The shooter then returned fire, killing the security guard. The entire horrific episode of people being killed in cold blood in the store was streamed live online. Officials said evidence showed the attack was racially motivated.
We are investigating this incident as both a hate crime and a case of racially motivated violent extremism.
A white supremacist who has engaged in an act of terrorism and will be prosecuted as such in a cold-hearted, cruel, calculating way. A military-style execution targeting people who simply want to buy groceries.
The suspect was taken into custody alive after putting his gun to his neck and threatening to shoot himself. He's been identified as an 18-year-old white male and has been charged with murder in the first degree. Distraught community members have been gathering at the scene, trying to come to terms with the fact that a toxic mix of guns and racism has ended their neighbors' lives in an instant. Neda Tawfiq, BBC News, New York.
No more time left to discuss. You have been discussing the 6th package of sanctions for more than a month.
A group of Ukrainian protesters gathered outside the building where the foreign ministers were meeting to try to finalise another package of sanctions, including a ban on imports of Russian oil. Inside the meeting, again deadlock, 26 nations against 1. Hungary, even though it's been given a carve-out, is the only EU member opposing the new sanctions. That's causing some considerable anger.
This is how we will be remembered, either the Union who managed to go forward and to send a very clear message to Russia, or who got stuck. And now, unfortunately, we are, the whole Union is being held hostage by one member state who cannot help us find their consensus.
The EU High Representative for Foreign Policy has been meeting Canada's Foreign Minister. When I interviewed him last week, he was confident the new sanctions could be agreed, but he doesn't seem so hopeful now.
We'll do our best in order to deblock the situation. I cannot ensure that this is going to happen because the positions are quite strong. But I think that if we understand the particular situation of some member states and all of us make an effort in order to present a united front against Russia, we'll succeed.
The foreign ministers are being joined by their Ukrainian counterpart, Dmytro Kuleba. He's bound to put further pressure on the Hungarians to change their position. James Bays, Al Jazeera, Brussels.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Hey, good afternoon to our listeners and viewers on the various platforms around the globe. Welcome to the second half of today's segment of Voices. My name is Socrates, your host for today's program. And of course, by now, you're logged on to WinFM 98.9 on the FM dial Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11 to 1:30. you are welcome to join us on this program called Voices. And it's after the luncheon hour. We got 22 minutes down. And we are entertaining calls from the public on the various topics. Numbers to call are 662-0989, 762-0989. And somebody just sent me something about the inter-school primary school games yesterday. Charleston Primary School would have won 6 gold, 4 silver, 3 bronze, a total of 13 medals. Dr. William Connor Primary School, that's the school of Sylvan Henry, would have won 3 gold, 0 silver, 3 bronze, a total of 6. So we're looking at the winning school, 13 medals. And in second place, we have 6, 13 versus 6. And what do we have here? The Sandy Point. Now Sandy Point. My school. Medals, gold, 2. Silvers, 4. Bronze, 1. A total of 7. So I guess here's the actual medal count that works with the gold versus the silver and the bronze. Then we had the Jocelyn Library Primary School. They would have won 2 gold medals, 2 silver, 2 bronze, a total of 6. We come to the St. Paul's Primary School, 2 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze, a total of 5 medals. We have to give all the participants, young athletes, congratulations. We come to the St. Thomas Primary School. They would have won 2 gold medals, 1 silver, 2 bronze, a total of 5 medals. Day Bay Primary School, 1 gold, 1 silver, nothing in the bronze, total of 3. We now come to the Ivor Walters Primary School, 0 gold, 3 bronze, 3 silver, and 1 bronze, a total of 4 medals. We come to the Terrell Williams Primary School, 0 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze, a total of 2. And the numbers to call, you're free to call and interrupt me to get in on the program with any topic, is 662-0989, 762-0989. We touch the beat. And the 466, of course, 0989. Beach Allen Primary, 0 gold, 1 silver, 0 bronze, total of 2 medals. Irish Town Primary, 0 gold, 0 silver, 2 bronze, a total of 2. Tucker Clark Primary, 0 gold. Miss Clark, 0 bronze, 1 bronze, no silver, no gold, and they have 1 medal in the bag. George Moody Stewart Primary School, they didn't medal at all, but of course we have to encourage the participation of all the young folks in these sporting activities, track and field, stuff like that. You never know who may emerge from amongst them. And as Sylvan Henry was saying, that believe that Kim Collins would have been given a role as to be monitoring, trying to spot the talent of the potentials. I think that's very commendable. But the very first caller on the program today was speaking about the need for him to be part of the award ceremony so that the younger folks, the young athletes, will be able to see who exactly is Kim Collins and be able to identify him as one of the heroes that they need to try to emulate. So there is that. So thank you for sharing that with me, with us. And I hope that many parents, of course, normally when your kids are involved, their parents are out there and they're cheering on their children. And sometimes when they don't really excel at the level that they would wish, they tend to, in their attitudes, discourage the children. This is not a time for that to happen. You have to work with the children, encourage them as best they can. And even when they don't excel in the first or second, even the third phase of their trials, you still encourage them, find out why, and you make them feel proud of their contribution. I had a chance to see that happen in Anguilla a couple of weeks ago, but we'll get back to that as we go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to Voices, Your Life.
Yeah, man, blessed love again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, big up to the youth them, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Show you, just to show you the youth them are coming out of I&I is even coming more refined. But what future we got to prepare for them? That is the whole thing. You know, because if you're going down a road of destruction, you know what I mean? We need to consider that. You know? We really need to consider what we are doing. You know, if you're going on, we have make them to get them destroy. You understand? And ain't that we want. You know what I mean? We want them to just go and bloom like the up to them. You understand? Watch here. The virgin, the Jesus virgin, right?
What do you call him?
Christian virgin.
The Jesus
you know?
brethren. Okay. I know what you mean.
That's it. He love God, you know, but he got it in ignorance, you know what I mean? And he just, because of how we learn it in this road that we chatting down, you know what I mean? So it's like we gotta relearn and we think and we shape a lot of things, turn things around, you know what I mean? Yeah, and we easy. You know, because the way don't cut already, and the way is Rastafari, His Majesty don't make, the way His Majesty is the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, you know. He is the God who come in the flesh to show us what to do, take us off of the path of destruction and put us on a path, you know, of life eternal. You understand?
The same Jesus brethren will tell you that Haile Selassie acknowledged...
I know what he's going to tell me, but it's low still, right? It's because of what he been told. Remember all he can tell me is that the teaching, you know. When you see this woman, I tell you, they didn't teach I know this. You understand? The Father revealed things unto the people and with Johnny and to him. So you gotta want to know the God will make you. You must want to know that.
Yeah, but I was saying that he will tell you that Selassie acknowledged Christ and his teachings.
But not according to the Roman way. You see, remember, you know, this world in which we live. Remember you said earlier, right? That the white people went in America and they killed off the Indian them and take the land, right? Well, they put that in the Caribbean Sea and where?
Of course.
See? And then they come and they tell you, well, this is the new world they create. I remember we go to school and they teach us in the history book, the people who came to the new world, right? So you realize that there was an old world, and some people left Europe, decided to get rid of the old world to start a new world, right? And then we know the African man now to work and develop in the physical structure of this new world.
They help build the new world.
Yeah.
And
right?
the nice a place in this so-called new world.
Exactly, because this is not our world, this is their world, and in their world, right, we remain as slaves. You see? No, the world going down the path of destruction because it's their world, you know. You understand? So we have to come out of it. In the book of Revelation, he said, come out of all my people, that is the ancient of days, who got holy hair upon the head. I tell you people them, who is the African people them. Come out of it, right? Come out of it because, remember, you're the first nation upon the earth, you know. Which means, you know, civilization, Bill, and you know all of these things, yeah. Right? These people ain't know nothing to teach us like that.
The question.
Truth be told, I mean, it's like, if all they're going to teach me is how to destroy myself.
With the global structure,
kind of knowledge I have,
with the global structure the way it is, how do you come out of it? Where do you go? Do you go back? We talk about progressing or regressing. How do you divorce yourself from that? How do you create a space for yourself? You say come out of it. You're talking about as a black race. Where do we go? From the structure, what do we create? How is the how?
Africa.
It's not the talk. It's not the vision.
Africa is where we come from.
So you want to go to Africa?
But we look into Europe. The people who put us in this situation, right, is who we still look into. We're not looking into ourselves, you know, we're not looking into our own. Right? Our own where they took us from. That is where we got to look for the strength.
I think,
You understand?
in my
I'm
humble
not
opinion,
talking about being like racial or anything, but what I'm saying
I
is that
understand that.
survival, right? For us to survive, we have to come off of the path where we depend. Right? Because if you check it out, in the world all kind of people live and everything going on, bam, bam. But when you check out the news, you only hear news about them, you ain't hear no news about us. When things are happening with us, you know what I mean? Like, what is the progress? What is the regress? What is the situation concerning we ourselves, Africa? You see? We don't know that kind of knowledge there. All we know is we're going up in Afghanistan and Russia and who are joining NATO. This is confusion, you know?
It
You
is.
understand? And the people is confused.
But
is easily
until we control the
misled.
leadership, until we are in the leadership position, the decision-making position, until we get there, we are on a treadmill. They are orchestrating peace at the barrel of a gun.
Rastafari, you don't go wait and a leader.
I understand that.
You
I
make a
understand
decision.
that. I appreciate it. I'm trying to go beyond the talk. I'm trying to get beyond the talk, and the vision
so
of a
I'm saying
few
the first
as to
step
how
is
it
behind the
ought to
talk,
be.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The first move on behind the talk, right? Is to step out of Babylon and step onto Rastafari. That's the first step. See?
Okay.
In Rastafari now, you want to make the move come on to the Father, right? He going to interest you now in the things them that you need to be interested in. For example, if you check out a Rasta man, the minute you come a Rasta, now we start to check in the history of Africa and African people. He started to check out the history of plants and herbs and he started to do them things where before he was on the other part. He wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? So this Rastafari, this is the most serious thing we ever face in life, you know, my virgin. You understand? How we playing it like it's a joke thing. You understand?
At the
Where
same
we
time,
look for the survival? Where we gonna look for the survival? Where? To America? To Europe? To China? Where we gonna look? Really and truly. You understand? We got youth and we must be responsible for that generation there. You check? So these are things we gotta really think on a serious level of star. You are gonna just come for just fun. That's been a fun thing, you know.
okay. Wrap me up, please.
So it's a redemptive, redeem us and take us back out of the corruption that we bury up in now.
Okay, wrap me up in about 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, man, I leave it there, man.
Okay, appreciate that. There are societies around the world that are, for lack of a better word, just being discovered. We'll get back to that after this call from the public. Call 11 Voices.
King,
Yes, sir.
in light of what you just asked that caller, where do we go? Let me ask you this question. Do you believe that heaven and earth will pass away according to what is written in the scripture?
Do I believe that heaven or earth will pass
earth
away?
will pass away.
According to what's in the scripture, if you're a scripture believer, then I don't necessarily get into this or that. So let me know what you're saying.
Okay. They told us in the scripture that there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. And that heaven and earth will pass away, but the word will stand. Let me say this to you, the King. There is no such thing as a new heaven and a new earth. Let me repeat that, and I hope Greg is listening. There is no such thing as a new heaven and a new earth. The new heaven is the higher consciousness. You see, we have Celsius, and we have Fahrenheit. Satan is in all of us, as God is in all of us. We either allow Satan to reign, and Satan is reigning today because, as they call us, this is their world. And we are in that misery because we have converted. We converted from who we were, and now we are submitted to their misery. So this thing about heaven and earth will pass away, that's a fallacy. Greg, I hope you're listening. When you rise from your lowest state and you become conscious of knowledge of self, the King, here's where we go. We go because, again, I repeat this. To know your story, you have to know his story as well. They both correlate. The atrocities that he did, they hid it from us. You know this, the King. They hid the genocide that they created against our people. You even said that we weren't allowed to read. If we read, we were slaughtered. All that happened. And yet, they gave themselves to us in colonization, in the word. They even created a Christ who they themselves crucified by telling us that he rose on the third day.
We have this call on the line, Journey.
He rose on the third day. All right, okay.
All right, appreciate that. Caller, you're live on Voices. Good caller. Good caller, you're live on Voices.
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm wonderful.
Beautiful. Let's hear you.
The King,
Yes, sir.
a lot of people sit back and, we study the history that has been given unto us. But we don't search deeper to find our history. For instance, what the Chinese are doing right now by exploring these countries, they are now exploring new land for the Chinese because they're moving out of China and coming around the rest of the world to set up their empire to take over. The European, the English, the German, the French did a lot of that because they were so heavily populated that they went out seeking for new lands and new territory. And there are a lot of places around St. Kitts that are still hidden up to today, although they have been known about, where the French once occupied.
Yep.
For instance, let us look at Borio. Let us look at Borio, where they have that monkey farm.
In the name.
Just to the bottom of Borio, there is something which we normally call a boathouse, okay? But actually what it was a wharf. A wharf was there. We could go down there. I think it's still there today. You could go down there and you could see the wharf where it was built from the stones. They had the greenhouse there that was built from the stone. So the French and the British was all around St. Kitts. And that area were on the Atlantic side. Because for them to travel on the Atlantic side, which let us say the windward side, where you had more wind, because they depend a lot on the wind to push their boat, eh?
Yes.
Because it was not motor, it was sail.
Mm.
So they depend a lot on the wind to push it. So a lot of them came in on the windward side. Yes, it was a little rough on the windward side, but there was sheltered bay, such as Borio. To the back of Borio there, it's very, very deep. And the boathouse ruin is still over there today. And I'm wondering how come nobody's looking into it. Because it is there where you see the wharf was built. Those brick stone was there. Just the same stone you would see at those old factories, those old sugar.
What we call a headstone, but I know what you mean, yes.
Yeah, it's there still. So I am saying is that there is nothing that is new. And we what happens is that we are saying that our history gone leave us. But what we have done, we said out ourselves, what we have done is because the black man were more satisfied with his surrounding, his living, his culture. The black man wasn't thinking about the gold for money, The black man just wanted his gold to hang around him, his gold to play with, his gold for his children to enjoy.
You were told that. You were told that. You were told that. Don't present it as a matter of fact. That's what you were told. The people who came and killed off the Kalinagos here created a narrative to justify their actions. I heard a taxi driver telling some tourists on a tour that they were right to kill off the Indians, as they said, because they were savages. They will present that to us, that these people live here cultured, civilizations were not. The same way we told that Africans were not civilized, this and that and that, and so they were justified in rescuing us. As a matter of fact, some years ago, I heard somebody living here in St. Kitts, and this man's voice, saying that we should be happy that the white man came and took us from Africa because we were living in trees eating ants. I heard that. So don't present that to me as a matter of fact that the black man was comfortable in his state with his gold, so he didn't have a value for it, so people had a way to come in and take it.
No. Sakoti, I would never tell you he never had a value for it. What I said, his value was to keep it and cherish it. He wasn't thinking about going out there and selling his gold to make money because
and
his gold,
killing others for it.
What you said?
And killing others for it. He was not doing that.
No, he wasn't killing others for it. I didn't say he was killing others for it. If we were satisfied with the gold, we were satisfied with what we had because what we had to us was our treasures and our pressure, and we treasures it. We didn't want to trade it for nothing. because it's ours and we wanted to keep it. And then the white man came inside here and put some of us against others, and in that we come into their clique. Just like Bob Marley and the Wailers. You look at people like Peter Tosh and Bonnie Wailer, who was with Bob. And after what the white man did, the white man infringed on top of them and moved Bob Marley out to Europe. He moved Bob Marley out to Europe, so Bob Marley get outside there. Because if the white man take Bob Marley out there, you know, as much as we hear Bob Marley sing about the white man and about this and about that, if the white man take him out there and leave people like Peter Tosh and Bonnie Wailer and them. So he went out there and exposed himself to the white man. And there is this division that the white man has caused between us. So
I could expound on that, but I'm going to let you have your say. Go right ahead.
I am not saying that we, as a black man, did not know what we have. We know what we had. But our thing is that we did not want to trade like the white man, go out there and sell what we have. We wanted to preserve what we had. Because it was ours, we wanted to preserve it for our culture. Anyhow, have a nice day.
Thank you for that. Let me just, before we go, is any caller there? Just before I get into that, and I had a school of thought on then. The slaughter of the 10 persons in Buffalo yesterday by that young 18-year-old white supremacist is a mindset that they have that the country belongs to them, that we don't belong. That we black people, other races, do not belong in America. It's their space. So we need to get out. It's a mindset they've cultivated and passed on to generations. You know, the callers spoke about Cuba and this and that and that. These are things orchestrated by people who think that they own the world. They do not. And I really forget what I want to say. Anyway, I want to answer Journey. He sent me a text. The King, let me know if you don't want to take or you want to hear Journey. This is for you, my King, not to read out. I'm sorry, but Journey, you would have called at least 4 times on the program. We don't have anybody on the board who knows who's calling. We take all the calls. But if you called 3 or 4 times before and you're continuing the same dialogue of the other callers, I'm going to ask you to let me take the other calls. It has nothing with me not wanting to hear you. In all fairness, don't do that to me. The time you called, anybody else to let you talk. We have a next call on the line, so caller, please. Welcome to Voices.
Hi, the King.
Yes, sir. How are you doing? Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. How are you, man?
I'm splendid. Yourself?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Apologize. My accent yesterday was maybe obvious or not, but
I was not going to mention it.
A lot of things to do.
The feast was laid. I was not going to mention it. The feast was laid. A lot of folks didn't show up. Those that showed up had a very good time.
I have some little shows to do, you know. Otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah. I tune in on and off on a Monday. I juggle Frank and Candy on another radio station and this your program. So I like to listen out to Frank and Candy, then I tune into your asking. But in between, I juggle and I listen to Mr. Bunting, Richie Bunting.
Yes.
In the midst of his presentation, he was talking about some mathematical equation, and that caught my attention because just yesterday I sent out to the ladies. I did not send the post to all about the. Are you familiar with 2 bones? Some might dispute that they are baboon bones, but they are 2 bones that were discovered in Africa, and I think the YouTube clip say 20,000 years before the pharaohs or 20,000 years ago before the pharaohs of that nature. The Ishanga bones. One of the bones was discovered in what we call the Democratic Republic of the Congo, so to that country called Paul Kagame, Rwanda, so to the Rwandan border, and the Libamba bone was found in southern Africa. Those 2 bones have markings on them, very old. The carbon data on the Ishanga bone, the one that was found in the DRC, is over 20,000 years. It predates a lot of the arrival of certain groups of that emerge on civilization today.
Okay.
And the markings were of that there wasn't just not willy-nilly scratching on those durable bones that was discovered probably in the 90s and can attest. So someone did the markings on the bone, markings in tens, counting in tens, but it is a double figure 20 or other markings in other lower numbers, but they accumulate. And one can conclude and say that it was women that did it for whatever reason, counting of the lunar cycle, the menstrual cycle, and the like, and that like. So very, very old bones. I want you to do some investigation before I have
I just made some notes.
in-depth conversation on those bones, okay?
Fair enough. Thank you. And on that
I'm
note,
driving, so I'm on work, so that's my contribution for today. I'll continue to listen.
much appreciated, as we now pause for a word from our kind sponsors.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tax specials from May 5th through 18th. IGA peanut butter, just $8.99. IGA or essential everyday microwave popcorn, $5.99. Quaker Oats, regular and quick, $13.99. Philadelphia cream cheese, $12.99. Morning Star meatless entrees, $18.99. Suavitel fabric softener, $16.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IGA Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $7.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauces, $6.99. Essential Everyday Ketchup, $4.49. Equaline Mouthwash, $13.99. Essential Everyday Apple Juice, $7.99. Arm & Hammer Liquid Detergent, $31.99. Shop smart, shop value man. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a
Value Mart.
At 12 minutes, moving up to 1 o'clock, you're locked on to NFM 98.9 Voices, and we have a caller on the line as we speak. Caller, good day, welcome to Voices.
Good day, Sakuti. What is your topic today?
Well, once you call, it's all yours, so go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to listen to something from me, please.
Mm-hmm.
I need every employer not just to say, but to insist that every employee must be vaccinated. This is where it's going to come. For the protection of your business, for the protection of the peace and the health of those who are vaccinated, employers, including the government, will have to give consideration to that. And so,
Sakuti.
Got the voice, got the context. Go right ahead.
We accuse Douglas for the crime. Douglas never tell anybody or give anybody any gun. But we don't want to make Timothy be responsible for the firing of people in this country. Listen to that tape. But people want to come and say he did not say this, he did not say that. Let's deal with what's going on in America, Sakuti. It's amazing to see that our concern, and I'm not saying I'm not concerned about the people they kill in America. We're going to jump, we're going to say racist. But Sakuti, I lost my airport ID because there's a label. Is not that racist? Is not that being racist towards people? I lost my job from the airport. So what's the difference to the white boy? What's the difference to the present Prime Minister?
There's a big difference.
The difference that he killed.
Yours may be in a political context, I say maybe.
My brother is
this was an out and out downward racial acts of hate
and
crime.
the same thing, it was an out and out racial act towards Curtis Cook because he's a labor.
No, that can't be racial.
My brother, we could say what we want to call it. That's what I call it.
Okay. So in your
You
words,
can call it what you want to call
in your
it.
world was a racial act against Curtis.
Exactly.
I don't see the context
Because
of race,
you cannot
but
give me a reason just a go. Nobody could give us a reason why the man killed these people because they're black.
no. It's stated in the manifesto why.
Right.
So that's
hold on.
different.
When Satan is manifested, why? I'm a labor man, and Timothy must fire me because I'm a labor man. That's what Timothy said. Get rid of me.
He said to Tennessee to fire you because you're a labor man?
Listen again. And if you don't get rid of him, remember we do business with you. So I could never talk to me working for them.
Yeah, got it. Curtis, you will have to bring that, and that's an allegation that we really can't substantiate. You may have that fact, bring it. We don't mind that, but we cannot have you say that the Prime Minister said to Tennessee that you're a labor man, and if they don't fire you, X, Y, Z. No, that's not right. That can't be fair. They played the tape. We got the context of what you were saying. We were having a nice flow. You say you think it was racial. I don't see the context. You say to you, it's racial. Fine. It's your interpretation. But to say that the PM actually ordered or directed TDC to fire you because you're a labor man, etc., etc., we want to disassociate ourselves with that remark and not expose the station and its shareholders to any libelous action based on what you've said. So we apologize to TDC for that, for the PM, for that. We have no knowledge, nothing to substantiate that. Curtis, we can have a flow, but bring your facts and we can discuss it. And I have no problem giving you a platform, giving you the space to hear your grievance, political or otherwise. But make it factual and we're good to go. Okay? Amber, I apologize. Zara, Cleo, I'll talk to you in a minute. We go back to the phone lines. Call your 11 voices.
I understand what you're saying, Socrates.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to go down with the truth because the chairman for the company have the evidence. So let me go.
All right. All right. As I was saying, somebody have to pause and rethink. Amber, good afternoon. Zara, good afternoon. Cleo, good afternoon. How are things down there in Axie? I want to thank you for the wonderful time. The I lost my train of thought. Well, you know what you mean. You guys took very good care of me, and I do appreciate it, right? So, yes. And, yes, the issue of the slaughter of the 10 persons in the supermarket there over the weekend, it came from a mindset of hate and a sense of ownership. We own this country. You don't belong here. So we have a right to shoot you. And there are people who live in that diatribe, that state of mind. And as one newscaster pointed out, this sense of racial animus was heightened with the emergence of Trump and their legislatures and some people in the news media who helped push that narrative. We go back to the phone lines, call 11 voices. We would have lost that caller. Okay. Mrs. Engineer, help me get centered. What's going on in the world today? Not a phone call. We go back to the phone lines, call 11 voices.
Hello?
Yes, good day, 11 voices.
Hi, the King.
Yes, sir.
It is as far as the east from the west with the two analysis just now elucidated by a caller. How could anyone put, okay, as civilization emerges, there are ways of punishment, okay? Back in a dispensational time in the Roman era, probably was hanged by the cross. What is the difference when hanging by the cross and putting someone, throwing a noose, putting a noose around somebody's neck and hang them on a tree?
What was
the debate about how Jesus was? Huh?
Go ahead.
It's still a debate as to how Jesus, was being died. But he died nonetheless. What is happening today is no surprise, and everyone should come to a conclusion to know who Jesus was by the way we are being killed in this time. And that is where our salvation, the salvation of the earth, the salvation of this earth and the nations is hinged on us. We have been killed from they call it the Adam and Eve story, where two brothers, one brother killed the other, until this very day. That is the battle that every individual have with their lower self and their higher self. And that is what is playing out in terms of races of people. But it is far-fetched to say that what happened in Buffalo, and I visited Buffalo before, as opposed to what has happened with an experience with an individual losing their job, yes or no. It is far-fetched.
I hear you.
I mean, it is repeated, the king. It is repeated. And you know our salvation is so great that I bet you, I could guarantee you that some member of one of those families, those deceased, some of one of those martyrs, will have such empathy that they would not, let's say the courts find this guy guilty to the extreme and want to give him lethal injection, whatever punishment. Some one of those persons from that bloodline would say, have mercy on him.
It happens.
It came down to the brother that died from St. Lucia that died by the hands of a lady. I think she was a cop.
Yes.
You remember the incident with the St. Lucia
Of course, the judge.
guy that got killed?
Yep, I think the judge came and gave a hug.
Yeah, I think she was his family member was the last to say, have mercy on. That is how we are. Because we know we are the ones to save the world. We saved the world. We brought civilization to the world. And we're going to continue to save the world. Not in this way. This is only for a period of time. This way of we've been dying like that, it's going to pass. But not to say that I condone it, but that's all. Because here is a bloodline from that family member going to say, have mercy on that person who have gruesomely killed so many, right? As opposed to like, if it was the other way around, you will hear like, no, and you will hear the expletives to the no, as to how this person is right, deserve death by any means. You understand? So that is our situation. It's going to continue. And as we speak, the conscious people speak, has been elucidated. It's becoming more obvious that what we are saying. And we're not going to run anywhere. Even though Africa is the source, we were out here too. We were in the Americas. We came by our free will in the Americas.
And you got 30 seconds to wrap it up for me. Okay?
We covered the whole world, and we gave our contribution and civilization to the whole world. So we're not going to run anywhere. We need to be respected.
Okay, well, maybe in 15 seconds, we go to the to our station break. Okay, so we now pause for a word from our very kind sponsors, and we will be right back. Thank you, Africa.
Manifest your desires, celebrating mothers in May. Manifest your desires while we celebrate mothers in the month of May at Horsewood's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Get 20% off store-wide on big and small appliances, bedroom and dining room sets, stoves, refrigerators, smart flat screen TVs, living room sets, mattresses, dryers, blenders, toaster ovens, and much, much more. Manifest your desires while we celebrate mothers in the month of May at Horsewood's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store with 20% off store-wide. Manifest your desires as we celebrate mothers in May and get 20% off store-wide at Horsewood's. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
The views and opinions expressed on this program were solely those of the caller and do not reflect the views of WinFM 98.9. WinFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who, in WinFM's considered opinion, is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
Good afternoon. To the many callers over the years who have known this program since its inception, we had the famous byline from one of the stars of the program, Fergie. Caller, we can't substantiate that. We know there are times we've had to cut callers mid-stream because of what they were saying, things that we cannot substantiate, should not entertain. So we ask for callers to be conscious of what you're saying when you want to make your contribution. If you have allegations that you can substantiate, even if you can and the station can do so, you will be cut. There's no disrespect intended. The platform is open to anybody. It's called Voices. But please understand that when you're making allegations against other persons that cannot be substantiated by the radio station, if there are litigation, if there are lawsuits, the station has to go and get lawyers to represent them is a cost. And that can be very expensive. So make your contributions. We understand you have feelings that you want to get out there, fine. But please be respectful. Make your contributions. Be factual. Be factual. We take a call from the public. I would have missed a call. Caller, please try again. We would like to hear from you. Next caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Saw you in a white yesterday, man. You think I didn't see you?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, what is the topic for this afternoon now?
We're flowing easy. We have a good morning. We had various topics, various contributions. You're the nurse lady. Tell us what's going on in the world.
Well, he was speaking about, I don't know, that's about young guys and so. So I was saying, the way I see how the country moving, I was wondering if the real case for the young guys, and because the way they pampering them, the guy them don't want to go to work, they find like we got sugar daddy government.
Who is it they, or who are they there that's pampering them? Who are them? Young people say they don't want to go to work? Give me some context.
Well, the young people them supposed to go to work and work for what they want. Not people out there pampering them, chucking money in there and all like that. That is not nice.
We have a sugar daddy
Because
government?
at the end of the day, we're going to end up sorry.
Yep.
Me and you elder than them, and we're going to end up sorry because it's really going to try to attack. And they won't attack the own peer because that's when the peers could go with them. I don't know if you heard about like St. Martin, Jamaica and all those countries. When the people, when they cannot see that money flowing anymore, they will attack the older one because they always say, oh, no, we go on the man, Charles, she don't got the money, but she got something. Right? My daddy in the morning, going to work, going down the market on Saturday morning. And this young guy, going to attack the man, all the man had him $2. Take away the man $2, go down, pick up a holiday. So that's how you see at the end of the day, they're going to turn beast and with the older one. And I don't like what I hear and what's going on. I get them videos with lots of money, sharing left, right, and center. And if so be the cases and the truth about it, they need to stamp it out right now.
I like what you said. I like what you said that if there is any truth about it, they need to stamp it out. Because I've heard rumors myself about people standing in the electoral line and money being passed by certain persons. I do not have any first-hand evidence of that, but that's what's going on.
I get voicemail about it too. Not cutting you up on. I find it quite obvious. One young lady called him a while ago and bashing me. Yeah, because saying that, I could have a bash thing in the government because this and that around there. They say, hey, born. And let me tell you, Mr. Socrates, you remember when we had the lockdown, year before 2020, in 2020, they told us, which they told you also too, there's a Skyping you can get. Yes. You must come and pull out the form. And then, yes, because They closed it down for 3 months. 3 months closed down. It ain't no easy, man, you know.
Answer the
Mr.
try to
Secretary,
assist.
my business was going very good.
Have this call?
And from the March coming down, my business just dropped. Even though when you go back out in July, August, it wasn't the same.
Yes.
It was just a penny deal.
And so did you get the
And they were
stipend?
telling me, huh?
Did you get the stipend?
Yes, I got the first one. But, let me tell you the trick. Because there was election 2020, I came on this radio station and I voiced my opinion and say, if they say the close us down, right? How will nobody for tourism come and check us and give us a remedy what's going to happen, give us an idea what's going on? Nobody did come down the terminal, Mr. Sakura, and explain to us. And it was looking bad. Because this is business is what we live by, just like you live by your taxi service. And it's a service people used to live by too. And that morning the PM came on and I really explained myself. I said it's not right. I said we need somebody down there to tell us what's going on. You ain't hear nothing happening, nothing going on. You hear other people getting swiping. The $500, that was in store, done. It was in store since 2017, and they were still getting it going. So, for we know, we didn't need a different opinion what to do. And I surprised somebody saying, I wanted the money. I said, but that day, Mr. Secretary, for your die, my PM sent up a bodyguard up here to look for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, spoke to me. And then took my number and told me to go down by the Social Security the Monday morning, like today Monday.
And you got some relief?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So
What you saying now?
Trying, but them give me money now, not, and the Social Security money is
Nevertheless,
not taking it
nevertheless, it was at the time that you needed help and you got the assistance. But what you're saying now, because you use the frame, there's now a sugar daddy government. And you're saying that the young people are not being encouraged to work, but they're giving money. Is that you're saying they're being given?
Because it's like when they do it, Mr. Tucker, I parcel to them and they go out 7, by 8:30 they're back where they belong, you know. When I'm smoking, drinking, and Guinness, and I don't believe, they say every man supposed to work for the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread. I don't believe you give hand and just handing out, because what? It's spoiling the young men then. Some of the women getting it too. Would you believe we have women out there talk about that bad girl? We got any bad girl here think it's Mr. Secretary?
Whoever you're calling tonight? Okay, go ahead.
Anybody else ever come up to you and say, oh, Mr. Secretary, better bust up your face and roll it. That is just a son. It's no bad girl here.
You think so?
The people are just unruly and that's it, and they need to clean up those things. I don't like that.
I see, okay.
And they need to do better than that.
So do you think we should start a campaign against any sugar daddy government?
Huh?
Do you think we should have a campaign against the sugar daddy government?
Yes,
as you call it?
because it's not good.
It's not good.
Because people, I got a video yesterday, and a guy every income of $50,000 in.
50,000? When how can nobody calling me? How come nobody calling me? You saw me yesterday over there on the lawn. Money is sharing the old road?
Person send me hot news. It's a girl look here. You see a bulk, about 3 bulk aside. And
anyway, Lady Bunnies,
yeah.
we got to go, right?
What
Because
I'm saying, at that year, let me finish it up now.
Quickly, please.
You do that year before, last year. They call us in again and said they're going to give us a script because we had the same shutdown with the corona. And I went up there, Mr. Sakura, they ain't give me any, but it's God's chain, but man is still alive.
Okay, we've heard you, and folks are listening, so have yourself a safe one, and thanks for your contribution, okay? Beautiful.
Yeah.
I am going to be the anti-sugar daddy government campaigner, so I need to get my T-shirts and go up there, start to campaign against the sugar daddy government, but I need money for that. I would need to have some money for that. What a situation. Okay, let's take this caller. Caller, welcome to Voices. You're live on radio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodge.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Voices.
You reason why I call is to tell you, you're the host of the program. And there are some people coming on and saying, using words like them say, with money and things. You should allow that. Because you said that the station could be sued and the station don't have any money. But you're letting bonus come on and start him all that crap.
Did she call anyone name, sir? Did she identify any one person who was doing what she said?
I respect you, Mr. Hodge. Mr. Hodge, I respect you. But when you have people coming on the radio and saying certain things, that is only them said. And if you don't have the thing to say so, cut them off. Tell them, please come with your facts.
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear when she said she don't know?
When I see you in the circus, we will talk. I'm a vet. Have a good day.
Same to you, sir. I was asking you, did you hear when she said that she know there's the truth to it is a rumor? I guess you didn't hear that part. I guess you didn't hear that part. She did say the PM came to her since bodyguard, stuff like that or that. Okay. You didn't want to hear all that. She said she got armed since. You didn't want to hear the part. Fair enough. We go back to the phone lines. Call your live on Voices. Good caller, your live on Voices. Pardon? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead.
It's interesting to listen to your caller just now telling you must cut off. You know, Patches live on Thursday night, and he listened to Patches on Thursday night, because he'd a call and said that Mark Brantley is a pig waddling in the mud.
Wow.
Thursday night on national radio ZIZ. This episode, he said it, not me. Patches live said on his show, he opened up on his show. He put up the tape with Patches with Mark Brantley. He went on to say Mark Brantley is a pig waddling in the mud. Did he call Patches live and tell Patches he shouldn't be saying that? did when Patches live said the people of this country is done to knock anything during the COVID, did he call ZIZ and tell Patches he mustn't say them things? When this double standard going to end? He's all of a sudden vexed now. But when Patches the ambassador gone to Mark Brantley on a program, EK Ugly, on national radio.
I thought that was childish. I thought that was so childish, so juvenile.
But what I'm saying, Sakoti, I respect what you say, okay? But listen to he. He never once tell Patches must have some respect. But these are the same people is telling you when you say big stone and this and that. And I'm saying to I, okay, let's agree. But where is the people supposed to be leading each other respect? Where are they? It's the leaders of the country. Lindsey Grant don't come on and say, oh, something, and Patches come back and say, my mother said, thou shalt not thief. So who respecting on the national radio, national politicians? But they want to crucify everybody.
I am so embarrassed with all that.
Citizen.
I am so ashamed of that behavior between those two gentlemen. I've heard it. Juvenile.
So you must crucify the Knox lady. Crucify Curtis Cook. But the ambassador, and he's going to be on tonight, you know. Ambassador, who Mark Brantley gave the job, go live on national radio, that Mark Brantley is a pig waddling in the mud, a spoiled child. That caller have not called Patches up to now and put Patches in his place. You know why? Because he's supporting unity. He's supporting Patches. But he's telling you he's vexed. What enough lady said. What we must do, we mustn't talk. From 2020, they harassed this country, and it was great. But today, we the citizens who's suffering for the last 7 years are lies, deceitfulness, dishonesty, not trustworthy. Set a politician. We must just move on. Don't investigate nothing. Don't worry about nothing. I mean, so could you look at the Master High School? Nobody decided to preserve all the trophy, all the pictures, all the documents. And let them stay there and get destroyed.
Really?
So you want to tell me nobody's supposed to do nothing about that, Sakoti? Look at all the trophy we mash up from the school. When you come build a new school, okay? But don't you think somebody should have preserved those stuff faculty?
If that happened, we're going to pause for a break, station break, right? But if that happened, that's negligence. Definitely.
But it happened, the pictures are there.
Okay.
Faculty, I got the pictures them, I'll show you them.
Please.
The pictures are there with all the trophy, everything mashed up and shut down. And not a soul seem that they want to discuss these things. Because nobody said, let's preserve these stuff. If we're going to build a new school, we're going to preserve them to go in the new school. Everything destroyed. You have a good day.
Thank you very much, Curtis. As we now pause for a kind word or two from our sponsors.
Get your property properly covered today. Constructing your dream house or considering renovating your property? We will make sure your property is properly covered at Guardian General Insurance. Yes, at Guardian General Insurance, we will ensure that your property is properly covered with our private dwelling and contractors all-risk promotion. Visit or call us today and get affordable rates, premium financing arrangements from now until March 31st, 2022. We will properly cover fire, lightning, explosion, thunderbolt, bursting or overflowing of water tanks and apparatus pipes, burglary, theft or larceny, impact by road vehicle, riot, strike or malicious damage, hurricane, earthquake or volcanic eruption, flood, collapse due to subsidence of landslip, loss of rent, cost of temporary accommodation, and much more. So get your property properly covered at SL Horsford and Company Limited, local agents for Guardian General Insurance today. Special terms and conditions apply. Call today at 869-465-9355 for further details.
Welcome back to Voices. So many viewers and callers. We got about 12 minutes before we wrap things up today, so we can take some more calls. The numbers to call are, we have a call online. And we lost a call online, 662-0989, 762-0989, 466-0989 gets you in the program. And caller, you're live on Voices.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodge.
Good afternoon, sir. How about that?
Man, long time, man. Hi, good, man. Long time, ain't. Ain't connect with you.
Well, we're doing so now. God blessings first.
Since I warned you about the haircut.
Yeah, I recall that. That was funny.
All your clock I heard you mention about the guy Foggy.
Yeah, started the program. That's...
And I always remember him when I hear nonsense and rubbish that's not supposed to be aired on any radio station. I just remember Foggy. But some people going to criticize A, and then they turn around now. They are B, but they're going to criticize B, and they forget. I mean, they're going to do the same thing as B, and they forget they criticize A. But anyway, a child goes to school at a very tender age, and when it goes to a certain age as an adult, and he have to leave school, then that child is on his own to pull up Operation Bootstrap and further your academical knowledge. And in furthering your academical knowledge, one has to be aware of where they are at all times and be consciously awake of the surroundings and what they are doing. And when an adult is going to leave one place and go to another and orally consume whatever they consume, that they lose a state of consciousness and fall laying down flat on the floor, that anybody around you can come and do all kind of negative things to them, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign of mentality. Because one's supposed to always maintain a sane brains that you are aware of what's going on. Because you got people have done nonsense, negative things to other people just because they lose a state of consciousness where they are. And when I say foolishness, you wouldn't like to hear what some of them experience when they leave and go other places. Big people, educated people, just to degrade the standard of that individual or any individual, they excrete human feces on people. That is bad. And all because that person loses a state of consciousness. Now, let me go to America. This thing that happened in Buffalo, New York, I see it coming.
You saw it coming?
And I see it coming out of states. You know why?
Tell us.
Everyone has the right to own arms. And once you have the right to own arms, it isn't everybody going to abide by the law. Some people going to just say, well, okay, I got my gun, and I don't like to see them black people walking across here. And I'm going to eliminate them. And that is what's going on up there. Now you see the amount of, the many kilometers of mile that individual travel from to go there, go do that.
Yeah, out of state, I'm not sure exactly how far he traveled, but they say it was substantial.
And it has more people out there thinking that like he too.
Copycats.
Yeah. Now look what happened there 2 years ago. A black man was trotting, exercising, and some of them white people saw him, and they tell us about, no, he's a black man, let me eliminate him. And they went after the man and they shoot the man.
But it was tried after that also? The same thing was tried again about maybe 2 months after the trial.
Oh, yeah. And so therefore I am saying this is, as long as you give the person access to have the weapon.
The nature of the weapon is one of the issues. The nature of the weapon. A 38 is for your own personal protection, but an AR-15 assault rifle, well, who needs that?
That's right.
It's easy access, and it's gun lobbies and those who have that mindset. A lot of those guns were bought when Obama was elected. A lot of those people bought endless weapons when President Obama was elected.
Yeah.
And when Trump came to town, that increased the whole mindset. Anyway, what's going on in Sinkits?
Yeah, going now. He got a radio station in Miami there, and I forget the owner of it, but he is what you call a real racist against black people. The radio station, he used to have a talk show, and he using bad word calling Obama all kind of derogatory names.
Lumber.
You got it. Yes, man. You got it every day. I mean, he and our black people used to got it out.
But the fact is, he has an audience.
I punch at him to tell him exactly what he was. So he encouraging people to go and get these kind of high-powered weapon to do what they want to do. And so I'm saying if they don't avoid that kind of lad here and they catch you with those kind of high-powered weapon, eliminate you. Because you buy it to eliminate people and innocent people. Well, for time consuming, I'm going to leave. Thank you very much. Africa, you're going good, man. You're going good, Africa.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge.
Your contribution. We got about 5 minutes before we wrap up today's program. The numbers to call are 662-0989, 762-0989, and of course 666-466-0989 to get in on the program before we wrap up things today. So yes, Rush Limbaugh and those guys there, they have audience, and we do believe that they're paid by the gun lobbies. So they're not just doing this for fun. They're being paid. There's a whole machinery in place. That is why you can't have any proper, sensible gun control in the US of A, and that will continue as we go back to the phone lines. Caller 11 Voices.
Yeah, man, Sheila.
Yeah,
man, give thanks again. Seal up, you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, you see all of the back and forth within the politics. It's because of the kind of system that we inherit. It's a really the colonial past, so we really got to consider, like, leading it off, right? Because he ain't doing us no good. You know what I mean? Because it's, at the end of the day, we have to each other truth. You know what I mean? What do you? So we are make a progress. It's a question. So we want a better system that really bring about oneness, you know what I mean?
What have you seen in the behavior of the youth that indicates to you, has an indicator that they want to change the current system? It may be, I'm not saying there's not, but what have you seen?
You, them is Rasta.
You, them is Rasta.
And the rebellion against the ism and schism.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You tell me earlier we are not going to destruction, progressing to destruction.
We were discussing progression or regressing.
Yeah,
You're
but
questioning whether or
but
not we have progressed.
You admit that we were not progressing, we are regressing, right?
To a very, of course, very large extent.
So maybe we are going the opposite way that we should be going, right? So maybe the youth them are rebel against the opposite direction.
But in the Bible,
You know what I mean?
in the Bible, this was predicted. In the last
In the
days,
Bible-
you will see such, and these patterns of behavior are now being unfolded.
Yeah, I can tell you why. Because in the last days, if you read in Revelation, right? Revelation 17, it tell you that the angel showed the virgin division of a woman upon a beast. See? And it tell you this woman here was also called the city upon the hill of upon 7 mountains, the city upon 7 mountains, and it says the city that ruleth over the kings of the earth. You understand? So he showed you, and he said that city is responsible for all the blood that shed upon the earth. Right? So when you look at the research and you say, well, which city is called the city upon the hills? And you type it in the Google and it tell you, Rome. Right? And then you look into the history of Rome. And you say, well, really, you realize that all of these things we're keeping up, which is the system, come from Rome.
Emanated, yes, mainly.
Yeah?
Emanated from Rome, I understand. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, you're there because Roman people spread it all over the world. Right? And then they claim the world. Remember, they started out here in the building, the new world. So now you got the new world order. You know what I mean?
And that's what the
We need
purpose.
to inform about what the new world order. What that is all about. You understand? So I'm saying is like, because the new world, the world they're talking about is their world, eh?
Woman is also
Their
the center
world.
of the
And
Catholic
they try
faith.
to control the action of any other who interact with their world. See? So I'm saying one to the African world.
I was saying
You
that
know what I
Rome
mean?
is
That in their
also.
world, we are slaves. Even though we rise to be a president, we still a slave. You understand? We're operating in a system that they design, they give us to operate in. Now, if the system is corrupt, what do you expect? If you wipe a clean rag in a dirty muffler, you can dirty up the rag. But if you wipe a clean rag in a clean muffler, you never dirty it up. See? So a lot of the man then we're going to the phallic system. The system corrupt, you're going to corrupt them.
Quite
You know
so.
what I mean? We have to make another one that is not corrupt.
Okay.
See?
Your last call for the day. We got about 30 seconds, well, 60 before we wrap things up. So I want to thank you and the other callers for their contributions, their commentary, and for being part of this ongoing dialogue on WinFM 98.9. We call Voices, aired on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Right? But I thank you, Ras, and all the callers once again. Look forward for your continued contribution on the various social platforms. So what's happening in St. Kitts around the region, around the world. I want to thank you once again, and see you on Wednesday. Bye now.